Hi, folks. Welcome back to another segment of Coffee and Connections with the Chief. I'm Chief Dean Rondeau with the Wolfeboro Police Department, and to my left is my able-bodied executive officer, Captain Mark Libby. And again, welcome during this era of COVID-19. Welcome to the inner sanctum of the Wolfeboro Police Department. This is one of our conference rooms, and we actually do a lot of work in here. Of course, it's emptied out when we do these shows, so we're not disturbing the officers. So we're well into the dog days of summer as we get into August. August, typically here in this portion of New Hampshire, tends to be very hot, tends to be dry, punctuated by severe thunderstorm activity. During the summer, some of those storms can produce lots of wind, hail, and rain. So if you're out on the lake and boating or doing an outdoor summer activity, always keep an eye on the weather. Even though it's a nice, beautiful, sunny day, the weather here in New England can turn very quickly, and you could be caught unprepared if you're not keeping an eye on the weather and prepared for some of the eventualities it may bring. That being said, we're getting through the whole COVID-19 pandemic thing. I want to thank everybody for their due diligence. This has been a long, hard road. I think we're doing all the right things. New Hampshire has been on the decrease, even though we've seen a few spikes here and there. This thing is still out there. It is still very dangerous. It's especially dangerous to those of us who may have immune issues or are already battling some other disease or virus. So even though you may not feel the need for a mask, remember you could be a carrier, you could be asymptomatic, or you could have simply brushed up against somebody that has it. We want to take all the necessary needed precautions to make sure that we're sanitizing ourselves and our clothing and our equipment, and that we're protecting others from what could be the spread. That's the whole purpose of wearing a mask. Wearing a mask protects others from you. It doesn't necessarily protect you from others. Wearing an N95 mask will protect you from others. Okay, so that's the difference. So basically a face covering, a simple surgical mask, protects other people from you, keeps all of your breath and most of the moisture and saliva and so forth that may come out in a sneeze or a cough or even talking. We all know those people that talk and have a tendency to be very forceful with their language and saliva ends up exiting. Okay, that's what this does. It keeps it close to you, traps it in, and stops it from spreading. That's the purpose of it. Social distancing, of course, helps us in that regard. If we're in a social setting, such as a club or an outdoor gathering environment or activity, music venue, what have you, the distancing gives us that gap we need where we're not being contaminated by any virus, not just the COVID-19, but coronavirus in general or any other virus. So these are all good social safety measures that we should all consider and remember to do. Having said that, everything here at the Wolfeboro Police Department is moving along quite nicely. We had one officer graduate from the police academy, and that officer, Joe Shanks, he's now in his FTO process, and that'll be another 16 weeks or so. And the one officer we hired in July was a transfer from Wolfeboro PD. That's Jason Boucher. He's out on the road. He's doing a fantastic job. And that leaves us just one officer getting ready for the academy. So Officer Peasley will start in, the end of August, the academy, and he'll graduate sometime in early November. December. There you go. December. So I keep forgetting it's 16 weeks now. The police academy is 16 weeks long. That's a long time. And then after that, of course, there's another 12 to 16 weeks of FTO training. So, when we hire a brand new officer, they're in training for 32 months straight. And it's a long time. And he's coming to us from Stratford County, where he's a corrections officer. So we're very fortunate we get that experience as well. And so very valuable. That being said, we'll be up to full strength at that point, and everything will be moving along quite nicely. We're right now we're in the infancy, the initial stages of development of our 2021 budget. And that's always a challenging time. It's a very busy time as we do research and we crunch numbers and we forecast expenditures. So no matter how well we try to do this, there's always like I like to say, there's always some voodoo witchcraft involved in this as you're trying to forecast some things out and be prophetic and look long term at what eventualities may pop up. Nobody saw COVID-19 on the horizon last year when we were doing the budget. And so these little things do pop up, and we just have to manage them as best we can. With that being said, I'm now going to turn it over to Captain Mark Libby for his operational update to our viewers. Captain.
Thanks, Chief. So the Chief updated a little bit on the moving parts that we have in the officers with the PD section there. I do want to mention that in July, we opened the front lobby. So please come in, please have a mask on. That's just a safety for yourself and for our dispatchers, officers, and firefighters that do come out and speak with you regarding which side you want to talk with. With officers, anything new in there, the traffic control is doing a great job downtown. Just be mindful of the 2-hour parking, staying in your parking spaces. He is down there, he is writing tickets, so be careful of that, especially your areas of Dockside, your immediate downtown, Railroad Ave, Central Ave, South Main Street, coming into North Main Street area. Be mindful of that. If you're an employee in there and you're working more than 2 hours in a shift, your best bet is probably to park in the Union Street parking lot or out near Railroad Ave area, the extension part. Or you can really get up to South Main where there is no 2-hour parking there near Carpenter School. That's probably your best bet to park in those general areas. And dispatch, we're still moving along, no changes in there, everything's moving, calls are still coming in, they're still taking care of your electric department after hours, your DTW after hours, and during hours, basically, if a call does come in, they'll redirect it and give whoever's on call the information. So they are busy still, the calls are still coming in as usual, nothing new in there. And that's pretty much all I have for operations parts. I mean, highway safety, we have the pedestrian grant, so you'll see more officers walking the beat down there, down in the downtown area, along with the traffic controller. But other than that, that's all I got for operation.
Yeah, Wolfeboro Central Dispatch, I just want to mention that's a pretty neat department to have. Sub-department within the Wolfeboro Police Department, and it brings a lot of capability that we otherwise normally would not have, and that provides us our common operating picture when we're going into dangerous situations or responding to emergency calls. It just provides so much for the citizens, the residents of Wolfeboro in terms of public safety. It really is it's quite amazing, their incredible capability that they bring to the table. The other thing that I want to mention, in case of course, we have communication with Marine Patrol. We also have communication with our other state, local, county, and federal partners through Wolfeboro Central Dispatch directly. The other thing that we we have, which is kind of neat. I think a lot of people don't realize we also have the capability to talk to them on Washington in case there's ever a major marine accident or boating accident on the lake that involves the mount, because that carries a lot of people and comes in, of course, it docks in Wolfeboro. We do have capability to talk to them on Washington through Central Dispatch. So a lot of capability there. And I just want to mention that. A lot of people may take that for granted, may not necessarily understand everything that they do, but just incredible capabilities. So provide us a very good service.
So I just got one more, or maybe two other things to mention as we get into the end of August. As we all know, the retirement of School Resource Officer Pete Lewellen back in June 1st, this opened up a position for the School Resource Officer up at the Governor Wentworth District. I know I've mentioned it before, but I just want to get it out there again that Officer Mary Swift will be moving up into that position up at the school. So if you have any concerns or issues when school does come in, we're still waiting on the guidance of the district on their direction on what's going to happen with the school year. But any issues or questions that go up to in any areas of Crescent Lake, Carpenter School, your Governor Wentworth, the high school, the middle school, but you're going to want to contact Officer Swift for that questions or answers or concerns. She'll be up there. She'll have the same office as Officer Lewellen used to have, same location, same everything. So that will be a nice change up there. So everyone's pretty happy with that move after the retirement of Pete Llewellyn's, which we'll all miss him up at the school this year. One other little thing is that I know we talked about the officers and the movements that we do have. We will be hiring one more. That's probably going to be somewhere in November, December. We have one open position. We're still just waiting for budgets and money to even out so we can make that move and hire this individual. We haven't started this process yet. So if you know anybody that wants to become a police officer, please send a resume, cover letter to myself and to the chief. And that's pretty much it.
Okay, well, thank you very much for tuning in to Coffee and Connections with the Chief again. If you want to be a guest on Coffee and Connections, just send us an email or get in touch with Timothy Goodwin at Wolfeboro Community TV. And we'd love to get you on the show. And with that, please stay tuned for your safety tip of the month. Thank you very much. And signing off is Chief Dean Rondeau with Wolfeboro Police Department. Thank you. Hi, welcome back to Coffee and Connections with the Chief. I'm Chief Dean Rondeau, and this is your safety tip of the month. We're in the dog days of summer. August is very hot. It's long. It's a long month. It's a hot month. And we're trying to get the last vestiges squeezed out of the summer before we start getting ready for the fall and then the inevitable winter. So with that being said, I know we're going to be taking in, a lot of folks are going to be taking in summer activities. And the one thing I want to talk about are heat-related injuries, heat stroke, heat exhaustion. So these two can be very deadly. You need to make sure that before you do any summer activities, that you're properly hydrated. Make sure you have water or some other fluid like Gatorade or Powerade or whatever your favorite energy drink is. To balance your electrolytes, that's very important. You want to make sure that you're wearing sunscreen, sunblock. It's not uncommon to get very bad sunburns up here in New Hampshire. It does get hot. It's very hot up here. So you need to keep all these things in mind. You need to protect yourself and stay hydrated. Protect yourself from the what could be the harmful rays of the sun, but I want you to have a good time and enjoy yourselves. Just because it's hot outside or the sun is shining is not to worry about taking in a beneficial activity like kayaking or hiking or swimming or boating, or whatever it is that you're going to do. But just be safe out there. And as always, keep an eye on the weather. The weather can change up here very quickly. August, though it proves to be a very hot, dry month, it is prone to some pretty severe thunderstorm activity. So, and of course, what does that normally look like? That normally looks like a beautiful sunny day in August, and then the conditions are right and the clouds form, and then we get thunderstorm activity. And that activity can be quite violent at times. So again, please keep your eye on the weather. Make sure you're prepared for any eventualities. And I want you to have a great and safe summer here in New Hampshire and in Wolfeboro. Thank you very much for tuning in to Coffee and Connections with the Chief. And I'm Chief Dean Rondeau, and I'll see you next month. Thank you. Bye-bye.